GM, we're live. We're a couple minutes early, but you know what? This draft kind of snap-filled on me. So good morning, everybody. We've got power. We've got power for those of you who were here yesterday. The power went out midstream, so there's about a 2-minute gap in the video where the stream went dead. I had to hotspot my phone. We were able to finish it out. We actually did a full draft even after that. But it was definitely a struggle. It was definitely a struggle, but we fought through some adversity, and we're already here rocking and rolling in the 9 hole. So we'll see how this draft begins. I'm on raw. It goes. I've been really light on CMC. I don't think I want to do a 100% fade. I'm happy to get around 4-ish%. So I'll take a CMC share here at 9. Try to pull the board up so people can see what's going on. I don't know if I have a zoom on. Yeah, I think I kept a zoom on because I had to go down to my laptop monitor, which is a lot smaller than my normal one. And now I'm just pressing buttons and nothing's working. But all right, here we go. We got CMC. We'll see what we get with our next pick. Steven, GM to you. Hope you're having a great start to your day. Appreciate you so much coming in, hanging out. Likewise, Fraud Clone, good morning to you. Hope you're having a wonderful start to your day. Gunnar Ross, one of the good ones out there. GM, hope you're having a great start to your day. And Purple Yosh as well, speaking of the good ones. Appreciate you, Purple Yosh. Hope your morning is starting off right. Snowman, good morning to you. Snowman, appreciate you coming in, hanging out. Interesting choices here. I think we take A-Chain if he's there. Ken Walker is tempting, but let's just take Jeremiah Love on this particular team. There's going to be plenty of CMC Ken Walker teams that also have Love on them as the ADP landscape has shifted so much. That said, I don't want to not take Love anymore, but we will, not take Ken Walker anymore, but we'll take Jeremiah Love in this one. Gumby, first of all, Gumby, huge congrats to you. For those who don't know, G for Gumby won the NBA Dog Bowl. One of the rare times that the right person won. Actually, I shouldn't say that. A lot of really good people have won. But G for Gumby won, and that was absolutely electric. Huge congrats to you, G for Gumby. Correctly noting, though, that Bhayshul Tutin has never won anyone money ever. I have some concerns about Bhayshul Tutin. However, my thumbnails don't always do well, so we had to push towards the clickbait side of the universe on that one. But yeah, we'll see. Bhayshul Tutin, of course, the big news there was Chris Rodriguez signing with the Jacksonville Jaguars. And that seemed like one of the best outcomes for Tutin. People projecting Tutin now as the RB1. Not a lot of threats we can really foresee coming in from the draft, just with how kind of a light running back class this is. So seems like Tutin got about as good a run out as you could. Some of us Tutin dead enders are still fighting a good fight, but his ADP continues to rise up. And the people that got him at pick 77, which I thought was too early, are taking pretty big victory laps there. Frog Clone, good morning. Yeah, agreeing about the Tutin comment. And he never will, Gumby. Well, for my sake, I hope not. I have 1 share of Bhayshul Tutin. Not great. It was pretty much a full fade for me. I thought Etienne was coming back, and if he didn't come back, they'd bring someone in. And they did bring someone in, except it was Chris Rodriguez. Dear God. Arlox, GM to you. Hope you're having a great start to your day. Appreciate you coming in, hanging out. Likewise, X Ghost to FX, GM to you. X Ghost, I hope you're having a great day out there. Thanks for coming in, hanging out. And B-Spurf, GM gang. GM to you, B-Spurf. Appreciate you so much. So, yeah, I guess the big news yesterday was the Chris Rodriguez signing. People are now starting to dig into the advanced metrics of Chris Rodriguez. Apparently his success rate and whatnot was very good. It does seem like if you watched him play, I don't know if that really bore out. He was kind of in a weird 3-headed committee with Krosky, Merritt, and McNichol. neither of whom we think are that amazing. He couldn't separate from them. So it does seem like it was about as good a run out as Tutin could get. The coach speak from Jacksonville does tend to like Tutin in the goal line role. Travis Etienne goes here. Another thing, I think this was yesterday, Bucky Irving really has run into some problems. You have Kenny Gainwell coming in. He's going to take a lot of the really good passing down work, some of those valuable touches there. But then Sean Tucker got tendered and seems likely to come back. I think other teams can match Tucker, but they'd have to give up a pick. I forget the exact machinations of it, but for all intents and purposes, it seems that Tucker is likely back. He had taken the goal line role there. So what's really left for Bucky? I don't know. I don't think there's enough left to justify him in this third, fourth round. I could see him falling even further here, but we'll see. In this draft, he's already, I guess he's not that far past ADP, but we'll see where he falls. You know, he could even be there at 40. That would be a full 10 picks past ADP. And it looks like it could happen. It does. So we are also going to pass on Bucky Irving here. I'll take DeVonta Smith, as tempting as it is to take Javonte and then maybe even do hyper fragile. Let's not do that. Let's take DeVonta Smith here. Hey, bird enthusiast, GM to you. I hope your morning is starting off right. Appreciate you coming in, hanging out. Likewise, Joel, GM. Beastperf asks, makes you wonder how bad Commanders want Love. Would they trade up? Where is their pick? 2020. I forget their exact number here. Let me see. Yeah, they're picking at 7. Interesting. I don't know. Hold on. I'm seeing Colin back tweak. Is this true, Crutches? Is this a bit? I got the golf updates. There's no way. There's no way this is real, right? So we will see. We will see. But yeah, if you got the golf updates, that's great. I've got the leaderboard on another tab. I saw Morikawa missed an 11-footer to start, so we will see. Frog Clone asking, can we discuss the missile is going to take Hampton's job? I don't think he's going to take Hampton's job, but I think this makes Vidal, to me, I was arguing in the Matic Discord about this. I think this turns Vidal into the direct backup for Hampton. I don't think any coach wants to give Keaton Mitchell like 16 touches and between the tackles work. I think this is terrible for Vidal. I think this really relegates him to just pure backup role. And so I'm very reluctant to click him. I don't hate him as like a very late click, but I think you have to understand you have pretty much lost most of the work you thought you might get there. Bukowski saying the RB room looks good. Ultimate White Male. Ultimate White Whale. This is my first ever super chat. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Congrats on 500 subs. Your consistency and professionalism that means a lot. Ultimate White Whale. Thank you so much for that. It has been a long road to get to 500 subs. I started out doing these. Hold on. Let me just take Christian Watson here. I think he's Machine wants a running back. I'm okay pushing that. But yeah, I mean, I started out doing these subs purely for the love of the game. I have 2-hour subs. If you look at the beginning of my channel, I have like literally 8 views on them. And, you know, half of those are probably me clicking them. So appreciate that, Ultimate White Male. Thanks for coming in. Crutches says, extremely true. Seeing the physio and stretching. I have no way to confirm this. This would be a terrible bit. It's time, Chad. Join me in the withdraw run bad streets. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This is throwing me for a loop mid draft here, but we will see. I certainly hope he does not. No. Now I'm not believing this. I'm not. Oh my God, he withdrew. He really did. He withdrew. Well, there goes my DraftKings. I do one lineup a week, and he was in it. Dear God. It really happened. This wasn't a bit. Oh no, Colin in a cart and out. This is insane. Insane. 50% owned in high stakes golf DFS. Insane. And super high owned and one and done. Holy moly. Wow. Sorry. All right. GM to you, Danny. Hope you're having a great morning. I know most of you aren't here for the golf chat, but if you're in the golf streets, Colin Morikawa withdrawing from the players is insane. But let's not overshadow Danny. GM, you deserve a proper welcome. Thanks for coming in, hanging out. Frog Clone agrees with that I assume you're back on Vidal. That's where I'm at on the Vidal stuff. Hey, Thomas Law, appreciate you coming in, hanging out. You got one of the best usernames on here, just Law. I wish I thought of something cool like that. But appreciate you, Thomas Law. Thanks for coming in. Hey, Emo Cowboy, good morning. Good morning. I saved the majority of the Toxic Tower for today. I tuned in for the first 10 minutes and it had to run. But I'm looking forward to catching up on that. Again, if you don't sub to the Toxic Tower, you absolutely should. Emo Cowboy, who's stretching you and what's it? No, he's talking about... It's right now Colin Morikawa. If you're in the golf streets, has done a number on all of us. Yeah, Crutches, that's impressive to go Rory Colin back-to-back WDs. That is insane. That is terrible. You're making a run at the worst run bad. I have to admit, Crutches. It's not just a bit. I was complaining because I had Rory and Lowry outrights back to back, and then I had Bhatia. So I thought I was gonna have 3 second places in a row, and that's the guy in the tub screaming I'm drowning and is sitting in the pool. Two WDs like that is pretty awful. All right, back to reality here. I'm gonna IKB this and take Jerry Rice here, aka Michael Wilson. For the audio listeners, so you know what's going on here. We got a 0-3-4-0 with CMC, Jeremiah Love, and Kyron Williams, DeVonta Smith, Christian Watson, Makai Lemon, and Michael Wilson. I will say we're probably going to take a quarterback here. Most likely Mahomes if he's available. I know the machine generally prefers that. I actually think it usually likes it above Herbert, and I don't really see a reason to take Herbert over Mahomes here, but we'll see what the sidekick goes for. I like this start. Running back is pretty thin. Jalen Warren, he's been a faller. I don't know where he's ultimately going to go with the signing of Dowdle. I don't hate both of them still. I think they're going to be okay, but yeah, we will have to see. All right, we're coming back up. Let's see what the sidekick says. I really feel like it's going to push Mahomes over Herbert on nothing. But let's see. Let's see if we're right about that. Just a little bit surprised. I also could just take Kyle Pitts here. All right, let's see. What does it want me to do? It wants Herbert. All right, you know what? Let's take Herbert. Maybe that opens us up to take Keaton Mitchell later. We can build a weird a weird Charger stack with the quarterback, running back there, but we'll see. Keaton Mitchell did not get a ton of money, but it does feel not insignificant of a signing. Thomas Law went Hideki and one and done. All right, I don't mind that. Hideki famously was not officially first-round leader because there were still 4 guys on the course in 2020. When COVID shut down the players after most of one round. So, I think he won prior to that. I don't know if I'm making that up, but I think he's had good history around here. Emo Cowboy told a fun IRL story. All right, excellent. I will check that out. Thomas Awad burned Colin last week. Not bad. And we'll see. Now people are going to be scared to use him going forward. We were worried about McElroy and it's Morikawa. I still can't believe my DK is just dead. It's over already. It hasn't even started. Insane. Purple Yosh has 27% Colin in the UD Open on 30 drafts after getting a ton of... Oh, yeah, because now you don't get a swap. Because he teed off. That is crazy. That is crazy. Crutch is not even mad since I'm underweight overall in one and done. Yeah. Well, I mean, for those that don't know, if you check out the Pat Mayo 5,300 person tournament, I'm actually winning the Mayo Open one and done right now because I used Bhatia last week. So I'm in first and second, and I used Adam Scott in both my lineups. I'm just trying to run away with it. I figure I can try to protect the lead later. It's way too early for me to get chalky in this thing. So I'm still pushing it. I'm pushing it in that contest. We took Adam Scott. We'll see what happens. Terrence says Chargers with Keaton. I couldn't be more in. I think this is great because we have a take we agree on. This is very exciting. I want to finally be in on one of your spicy takes here, and I think we hit one. So this is excellent news. I think I just take QJ. I'm very surprised that it wants another quarterback. I mean, Love does make sense because I have Watson, but let's get a little more help for Herbert here. We'll build the stack. I can now kind of back off a little bit on wide receiver and feel like I have a decent room set up. So far we've got Herbert, CMC, Jeremiah Love, and Kyron. Wide receiver room of DeVonta Smith, Christian Watson, Mekhi Lemon, Michael Wilson, and QJ. Arlock says it was always Keaton to one of the Harbaughs. Yeah, you definitely draw the through line there. It would have been funny if you went to New York, especially with all of us projecting them to potentially add somebody. Now if you're a Scatterbro, you're really fading the Jeremiah Love pick. Okay, so we successfully did push Jordan Love here. I think that now does make sense. I'd be surprised if the sidekick recalculated to something else. So let's just do that. Lock up a second quarterback. And now feel pretty good about the team. We got 2 decent quarterbacks stacked up. We've got 3 running backs with our first 3 picks. Feels like a good start to the crew. Normally, I'd like to check in on the friends and family in the room, but we have no friends in this room. Or if you are in this room, let me know though. Taking a quick glance, don't see anything super out of the ordinary. We do have one 2024 drafter going 4 receivers in a row, but immediately takes 3 running backs after that. So again, no true 0 RBs taking place. 1 anchor RB. This Jayhawker drafter took Jonathan Taylor, and then their next running back was Rico Dowdle in the 8th. Kind of went double elite tight end. So seeing one of those kind of interesting builds from the 6 hole in this room. Oh, good for you, Goods. You know, you win the big board, and now you have 30% Tutin. What's it like? What's it like to run so good? But no, Goods, appreciate you coming in, hanging out. I'm the opposite. There is a timeline in which the Jags sign, they re-sign Etienne, and then they bring in, somebody else annoying, and Tutin is now at pick 100. But no, I am in full capitulation. The Tutin fade doesn't feel great. I think in post-draft stuff, I will try to be around market. Personally, I don't love Tutin. I don't think he looked great. But that said, running back is often a position of opportunity. You can put the slider, how much you think it's opportunity, how much you think it's talent. I don't really think that he showed that talent we all thought, or at least the Slappies thought we would get. But I think he's going to have a lot of opportunity in an offense we're all very excited about. And so even if you think Tutin stinks, we thought Javonte kind of stunk, and he, have really got there, at least at the beginning of the year, was an absolute smash. So again, not the most comfy fade. Going to be hard for me to chase him up to. Where did he go in this draft? I'm missing it. Where did he go? All right, I'm going to have to type his name in because I'm on the clock. I thought I could just pull it up and look. The sidekick wants me to take Fergie. I think I'm fine with that. Let's take Let's take Ferguson. So we'll get our first tight end onto the team. Where did Tutin go? His ADP is now 60. It went to Delmonico. All right, so it went to the 7 hole at pick 55. That's actually a little later than I thought he would go. So yeah, he went in round 5 in this. I think he's going to move into round 4, and I think I've seen drafts where he is up there. Yeah, Frog Clone, join me on the island. The last soldier on the island wouldn't take Tutin at pick 80. I would take him at pick 80 right now. I would. But it's going to be hard for me to take him a whole heck of a lot higher than that. All right, let's see. Yeah, kind of a QB-rich area. I think I'm good pushing quarterback. Excuse me. Not really sure what I want to do. Don't love this range. I might just take Travis Kelce. It's a little bit ahead of ADP, but of the sidekick recommendations, I think I'm most interested in that. I think for quarterback, if I could get Brissett, I don't know where he's really going. I don't know if 172 is reflective of his real ADP, so I'm going to try to grab Brissett at pick 160. I'm going to pencil that in as my third QB. If he's gone, then we'll have to audible, but that's kind of how I'm thinking through this board. Again, running back has gotten a little weird, but we used our first 3 picks on running back, so we're going to hope we hit that. All right, let's see. Arlock says he looked good on those 3 consecutive carries in the playoff games, and then they didn't give him the ball again. I mean, I feel like I keep going back to the stat that he did not have a single 20-yard run until the playoffs, in which he had one run of exactly 20 yards for the guy that we thought was this game-breaking, explosive runner. And then the team seems to think what he's best at is these like short yardage goal-to-go things, which is like not what you would expect. That is a very valuable role, so if he's good at that, he's going to score a bunch of touchdowns for a team that we think is going to score a lot of touchdowns. So even if he doesn't get there the way we thought he would, I think he's going to be a valuable fantasy asset. Could he get usurped? Sure. Could he fumble his way out of a job? Absolutely. He also got injured last year. He might not be super durable. Like, there's a lot of paths to failure. I mean, there's paths to failure for every single running back because they play a position that gets hurt. But there is a ton of fragility to me for taking a guy who didn't look very good last year and now taking him up in the 4th, 5th round. It's not like we saw this huge breakout and he earned the role. It's like he earned the role because the incumbent left. I don't know. Terrence says, I like to bet on the man. Ben Johnson and Liam Coleman have been kingmakers if they flashed. So when the talent meets... I just don't feel like he flashed. I think that's the issue. I feel like he's got the opportunity, but we're still hanging on to like the combine stuff that we loved. Yeah, no, talent and production, 100%. I think the big disagreement between me and the market is the talent. Chris says, morning, Chad. Flyfish says, cope. I'm not coping. I'm admitting defeat. I don't know what more you want from me, Flyfish. I don't know how else I can, how much further I can capitulate here. All right, what do we want to do? The sidekick wants Aaron Jones. Gosh, I don't really love Aaron Jones. I don't have a whole heck of a lot of him. No, I missed. I whiffed the least nimble fingers. I was actually going to take Woody Marks there. I think Woody Marks is kind of draftable this far back. I think he's now going to get to do what he's good at versus what he had to do last year. So we'll see. We'll take Aaron Jones. He's back in Minnesota. It's annoying. But I think he's going to be fine. I think we were all hoping Minnesota would do better than Jones and Mason Redux. But maybe if the offense isn't terrible, those guys are still gonna retain some value. That was another, I think this came out yesterday, was Aaron Jones returning to Minnesota. Frogcone does say, noting, I'd look good against the Bills run D too. Is he just a Buffalo Bills merchant? More and more people are asking. Jared says more groveling, less justification. Yeah, we're all just at the feet of fly fish, and goods, capitulating over Tutin. My goodness. Arlock says, but if you start 3 wide receivers and elite tight end, you're taking Tutin at pick 55. Yep. Yeah, I mean a lot of here, hold on. Let me make this pick. Let me take Brissett here. I absolutely think Brissett is live to not play the entire season, but on this Michael Wilson team, I'll grab a Jacoby Brissett share. So for the audio listeners, we're up to a 3-4-5-2 with Herbert, Love, and Brissett, a CMC, Jeremiah Love, Kyron Williams, and Aaron Jones, DeVonta Smith, Christian Watson, Mekhi Lemon, Michael Wilson, and QJ, and then Terrence Ferguson and Travis Kelce at tight end. Let me pull the board up. People can see what's going on here. Vidal goes at pick 158. He's going to fall from there. I think you can probably get Vidal in the 18th to 20th round when everything adjusts, but we'll see. Chris Rodriguez, he goes at pick 166. I feel like that's fair. I feel like the 14th round seems appropriate for Chris Rodriguez. He definitely could get some kind of role. People were noting the Kentucky connection for Chris Rodriguez, so we'll see. We will see. Frog Clone, I'm taking Swift and Monty over Tutin every time. And Ultimate White Male notes, to be fair, Frog Clone is 100% true. Frog Clone, an absolute monster. Swift and Monty over Tutin. I think I'm with you, Frog Clone. I think I'm with you. But we'll see. Again, post draft, I will not have 0 Tutin. I think it's too late for me. I think it's too late for me in these drafts. Sidekick, help. The sidekicks abandoned me. It says you're on your own. Oh dear God. All right, well, that's okay. Let's queue up Keaton Mitchell. I think there's a lot of late whatevers I can take, but Keaton Mitchell will be fun. We'll pair him up with Herbert. We might be pulling up Mitchell now to where he's going to go anyway. He could rise a little more than that. I could see that. Pretty exciting player, and now gets to go to the Chargers that we're all in on. So let's grab him here in the 15th round. We'll see. Hey, Game Tight, appreciate that. I'm late, but smashing the like. GM to you, Game Tight. Hope you're having a wonderful morning. It feels like I'm in a weird fever dream with Colin Morikawa actually withdrawing. And then I learned this because Crutches is live tweeting it in the chat. It feels a little surreal. I do a lot of golf stuff, and that's earth-shattering golf update. And again, I know most of you aren't here for golf, but that's a huge. He was the most popular pick in One and Done, and the most popular play on DraftKings, and he just ejected from the event. You know what? I'm going to take Tesla. Reynolds, I think it was Reynolds departed. And so it seems like there's just clear air for Tesla as the wide receiver 3 in Detroit. We could look at a second year breakout for him. All he did was score touchdowns. Don't mind that at all. Let's get a little piece of the Detroit offense there. So we'll take in Isaac Tesla share. If you really want to get galaxy brained, you're Amon Ra. So if you the CMC Amon Ra choice here, you get a lot of the time. Maybe you can consider Tesla some leverage there. If something happens to Amon Ra, we could see Tesla really step into a bigger role. So again, you don't really have to make those justifications with your 16th round pick, but you could think of it as sort of a minor bit of a leverage play there. Okay, Khalif Raymond left. Yeah, I was like, it's Reynolds or Raymond's. I was getting my R receivers mixed up in Detroit. Thank you, Kicks, for that. Yes, Khalif Raymond left. He'd been there a long time. I think it was it Amon Ra posted kind of a sad farewell to him. Seemed like he was a well-liked player, but for our purposes, we will, I think that is non-insignificant for Tesla. All right, give me 1 second. All right. Isaiah Pacheco gets drafted. I think the Isaiah Pacheco contract is minuscule, is absolutely minuscule. It's like under $1 million, something like that. The numbers came out. That said, don't mind, if you want to add him, but I would caution there is a pretty high probability that they draft somebody, or I don't know. I don't think Pacheco has turned into David Montgomery. I think that's a little bit of fanfic, but hey, you never know. Now, what do we want to do here? I think Bigsby's kind of intriguing. Singleton is fun. Let's just grab Bigsby. The sidekick left us, so we have no idea what the good folks at Leg Up want us to do, but that's okay. Too much tabbing back and forth. I get punished here. So let's look at our running back room. We got CMC, Love, Kyron, Aaron Jones, Keaton Mitchell, and Bigsby. So our choices, are we going to stop at 6? Do we add another one? I think I'm tempted to add Singleton if he's still there. I think some people were talking about NFL teams being high on McGowan, on Seth McGowan. He's basically stone free. So maybe if Singleton's gone, we take a wide receiver, a running back, and then we end the team with Seth McGowan, assuming no one else takes him. That can kind of be the plan. We'll pencil in for now. But again, appreciate all of you so much for coming in, hanging out. If you can, drop a like, drop a sub. All these things help. We're on the road to 750 subs, and it's been really fun doing these. And really excited for the draft. I'm going to the draft. If any of you are going yourselves or in Pittsburgh, let me know. Would love to say hi to some of you guys, but I will be at the draft, and at least I can finally, I won't have it spoiled on Twitter, because I'll actually, no, you can still get it spoiled on Twitter, because I think they spoil it before they announce the pick. So I'm not even marked safe from that, even going to the event, but we'll see. I am excited to be there. The draft is pretty fun for the truly sweaty of us out there. All right, we're one pick from Singleton, although Otten is tempting. Otten is very tempting here. Fergie, Kelsey, it's fine. You know what? Let's do Cade Otten. With Mike Evans out, I mean, there are going to be touchdown market share opening up quite a bit. Otten is capable of those big spike weeks. You're also going to have those weeks where he runs 97% of routes and has 0 targets, which does seem to happen to him. But at least we know he's out there. They brought him back. The role is, the role can be good if everything goes right. This Delanimo guy, he takes a couple of the favorite late receiving options with Zachariah Branch, Jeremy Bernard. Maybe he's a leg up user, because I know these guys tend to get recommended late in drafts, along with Chris Brazel. Those 3 I know get pushed up. I think Chris Bell, another favorite. So we will see. Goods asking, who is Miami taking? I've seen them mocked mostly just various defensive players. I don't think they're taking. I haven't seen them mocked to take anyone like fun in the first round, other than one mock that had them taking Tyson a while ago, but mostly like a corner or a safety is what I've seen. Yeah, Greg says a corner. I agree with that. That's what I've seen mocked. I never, yeah. From a structural standpoint, I feel like just having the one like lockdown corner, expensive corner, like it's fine. It's fine. We need help everywhere. Our defense is bad. Yeah, Storm Duck can't be the one again. Yeah, our secondary was embarrassing. I mean, Storm Duck though, what a name. We have some great names on the Dolphins in our history. River Craycraft. I mean, we've got some. At least if we're not going to win, we have some fun, memorable names on the team. George Holani goes in this draft. This feels like one of these drafts where if you see him on a team, you know exactly when it was drafted. To me, this is Ken Walker's gone, and they haven't signed Rachaad White yet. And if they don't sign Rachaad White, then they haven't drafted someone that you like more. So I don't know. Hey, if George Holani is the RB2, then I think he's an amazing pick in round 19. I just think I just can't imagine that's what ends up with. Greg says Phillips' contract was great. Dolphins steadily creating defensive studs for the rest of the league. Yeah. And of course, Bradley Chubb off to Buffalo as well. So we're just I'm sure he'll be like completely resurgent now too. Beastburf, no, that was his real name. Storm Duck. That's how dark it is to be a Dolphins fan. You literally, like, you have to tune in 1 p.m. on Sunday and then root for a team that's unironically trotting out Storm Duck. It's pretty amazing. It's really incredible. All right, let's go. Let's scroll down. Did I miss him? Shoot. No, I didn't miss me. I'm just going to take McGowan here, and then we'll figure it out. So we take McGowan. We're going to end this team with a wide receiver. Maybe I panicked a little. I could have just clicked Marvin Mims there. But there's some options down here. We could take Chris Bell. Tyquan Thornton re-signed in Kansas City. Oof, that feels a little sketchy. Malachi Fields I used to take a ton of, but his combine was so lousy that I'm pretty out on that. I'll queue up Mims. If Cooper Kupp, it's not the worst thing you could do. I have a really hard time clicking him because it's just so milquetoast, but I could put him into the queue, and then Chris Bell. So we'll see. There goes Mims. Can't blame the guy. I think that's a nice value there. Isaiah Bond, another guy I mixed in late. Don't mind the Isaiah Bond click. We could, again, see a second-year improvement, some better QB playing Cleveland. We know he runs those deep routes. Could be like giga discount Shaheed. So he's gone. All right, we'll take Chris Bell. I probably could have taken Mims and then taken McGowan as my last pick, but alas, we did not. So for the audio listeners, we've got a 3-7-7-3 with Herbert, Love, and Brissett. Running back room of CMC, Jeremiah Love, Kyron, Aaron Jones, Keaton Mitchell, Tank Bigsby, and Seth McGowan. Wide receiver room of DeVonta Smith, Christian Watson, Mekhi Lemon, Michael Wilson, QJ, Tesla, and Chris Bell. And then tight ends of Fergie, Kelsey, and Cade Otton. Don't mind the team. I feel like it's a fun team. No one's going to call it a super team by any means, but it does feel like it doesn't have any huge holes at any position. So happy to have it as part of the portfolio. Yeah, it is 100% real notes, Greg. And Beast, it is like a great Top Gun call sign. You got, you have Rooster now as Goose's kid, and maybe, in the sequel to the sequel, you could have Storm Duck as Rooster's kid in the 20 years from now. All right, let's fire up another one. Let's fire up another big board. So if you want to get in, you're gonna get in the underflow because I just got location error. Let me try to do it on my phone. Apologies. It's so weird how you can join once and then the next time you join it doesn't work. Waiting for 7, so probably no underflow. Hopefully. All right. Waiting for 5. I wonder if I can get the sidekick happy if I start another tab. So hold on, let me see if I can. Because I like having, it's nice to have the sidekick. I think people like seeing what it's doing. I got the 10 hole. All right, we're back. The sidekick is kicking once more. All right, let's see what we got. We got Beast Burp. I mean, my goodness. You hang out in the stream and you get rewarded with the 1.1. So Beast Burp here at the 1. Goods at the 3. Game tight at the 4. Mr. Worth at the 6. Brooklyn Bum at the 7. Bird Enthusiast at the 9. And Tierrence, our king, at the 12. Myself at the 10. So amazing room here. We will see what we get, but best of luck to everybody. If you can, though, please drop a like, drop a sub. Those things are are the lifeblood of the streaming economy. But thank you all again so much for coming in and hanging out this morning, following along with the golf tilt. My goodness, I really can't believe that Morikawa WD'd. No, Joel, there will be no value in this room. This will be a sweaty room. If you want to grab a falling Keaton Mitchell, don't try it in this stream draft because you're not going to get him. You're probably going to actually pay more than he ultimately falls to. But you know what? That's the way she goes. That's the way she goes. But we'll see. We will see. I love doing these drafts, but they're definitely a different texture than non-streamed ones. All right, let's see. We got Bijan and Gibbs going, and then Puka, so nothing out of the ordinary. And we're off and running. From the 10, a lot of running back teams for me. We'll see what we end up with, though. Other news from yesterday, I believe Kyler officially released. Word is he's meeting with the Vikings. Sounds like that's his preferred destination. But then there was a corollary to the report saying that he was looking at being a backup somewhere as well. If that fell through, I doubt that's his preferred course of action. I think that would be more if the Vikings bring him in and are uninterested. The contract from their perspective is going to be essentially free. So I have to imagine that it does ultimately work out. But Kyron as a backup would be, I said Kyron. Kyler as a backup would be pretty wild because people are taking him pretty aggressively. He is up to pick 121. So that would be, I'll take James Cook here. That would be pretty pricey for a backup quarterback if that's where we end up with. Shades of the Trey Lance here, when people were taking Trey Lance in like the 6th round, and then Trey Lance was I don't even know if he played at all, but it didn't work out. Did not work out. All right, so we've got Cook. Definitely fertile ground if we want a running back with our next pick. It's all up to T-Bear. T-Bear takes Hampton. Who does he round it out with? What's he doing? What does T-Bear do? He winds the clock. Like he's on NFL Network on the clock, and just the teams milk the clock so that they're discussed longer. He takes Justin Jefferson. A-Chain's gone. So do we take Cook and Ken Walker, or do we take Cook and Jeremiah Love? I think I'm going to go that direction, and I'll go Cook, Love. We'll leave Ken Walker. We'll leave Ken Walker for someone else in this room. So we've got Cook and Love. Not the worst start we've ever had. And off we go. I don't know if is Dave 3233 in here? I feel like that's a name I recognize, but if you are in here, hello. We'll try to shout out some teams, but there are a lot of people in this room, so it might be somewhat tough for us. All right, let's see. All right, so T-Bear opens Hampton Jefferson. Bird Enthusiast goes Amon-Ra Bowers, so no running back for him yet. Brooklyn Bum, running back, but Taylor and Ken Walker. Mr. Worth with CMC, Drake London. And we're off. There is a chance that nobody... Okay, Game Tight takes McBride. So we got kind of a mirror image. Bird Enthusiast with Amon-Ra Bowers. Game Tight with Chase and Trey McBride. It is funny, you do see certain draft slots sometimes are more likely to go full piss boy or full 0 RB. I feel like it tends to happen out of the 3-4, and then whoever's the Lamb or Amon-Ra drafter. And so you kind of can see that, it's like the 3rd, 4th, and like 8th picks are the most likely to do it. Just kind of something interesting to note, the way the rooms shake out. A-Spurf, he starts with Bijan, Jacobs, and Nico Collins. And Goods, last year's champ. 3 receivers in a row. So starting out with the Puka, Neighbors, and A.J. Brown. B-Spurf noting that Ryan Fox withdrew. Yeah, he did that post-lock, which was annoying. He was about 8% owned in the big lotto. there. So I know that impacted some people from a DK perspective. I just can't believe Colin withdrew. I can't believe it. I really know crutches wouldn't do a bit, but I was just having trouble just believing that was actually happening there, because that is just for it to be him of all people, the one that was like so popular, like one of the most popular bets, and then for it to happen post tee off, like, because he played a hole, so you don't get refunded. You know, most books, if your guy WDs before they tee off, you just get refunded. But the Colin people, everyone's going to be tweeting. Everyone's going to be tweeting. I guarantee if you search Morikawa's name on Twitter and go by latest, it's going to be just hundreds of people like, rescue me, rescue me. It kills everyone's underdog teams. I just can't get over it. Do we want Kyron or Rice? You know what? The sidekick wants Rice. I'm gonna go Rice here. It has actually not been a while since I went to legendaryupside.com. But we will hit the little circle button. What? Right, whatever. All right, nothing I can do. We've got the warning here. I apologize. I think every time I go on stream, the sidekick starts trying to embarrass me. But there we go. Yeah, Purple Yosh, the Colin withdrawal is absolutely insane. It is so crazy. It's like I don't even know what the like NFL equivalent would be. I'm kind of at a loss. Let me take DeVonta here. I know the machine wants some of these receivers, but we're not going to do that. We're going to take DeVonta. So we got James Cook, Jeremiah Love, Javonte Williams, and Rashee Rice here. 3 running backs through 4. I'm sure back when 0 RB is the meta again, I will be calling drafts like this, like 2026 drafts, but that's the meta we're in. Crutches just wants to see the world burn. I'm just glad the Chalk gets to experience my pain. I mean, I could only probably do this for another, for another 4 days. But as the leader of the Pat Mayo one and done, who faded Colin this week, I'm pretty happy about this. I did not want this to nuke my DK. I would trade if he wanted to just like T20. I would have been fine with that. The withdrawal is madness, and they've burned Colin. The Colin Chalk people, like, Morikawa is going to be a fine pick at some point this year. Brutal. Thomas Law, Aaron Rodgers getting hurt the third play. Yeah, something like that. And then the sports books like don't void your Aaron Rodgers prop bets, and they're just like, he played, tough noogies. Yeah. Crazy. Crutches at 29% in the 3,500. I had Nap. Yeah, there you go. 83% on DK? Or on underdog? Oh god. Yeah, no swap on underdog is gonna be so killer. I don't know what my exposure was. It's probably high because I had no Scotty because the RNG gods were conspiring against me. Let me see. I had 27% Morikawa, rip. There you go. Oh, 83% on DK. Yeah, I only do one lineup a week and just enter it in everything. So I'm just already dead. I gotta change that strategy because yeah, I don't really like being dead at 9:45 a.m. on Thursday. That's like not really fun with how much work we put into this. To just be giga dead because a guy. Oh man, the people must be so mad at him. Because people already don't really love Morikawa, and it seemed like he was starting to turn his image around, and then this happens. It's going to be absolutely brutal. All right, the machine. See, I knew I liked the sidekick for a reason. It's recommending Cam Scata, but we'll see if he comes to us here. Again, he has been plummeting, despite the Giants not adding anybody. Giants don't add anybody. People don't care. But Polo Fresh, he says, not for you. Not for you. We're going to do that. right, let's starve the room and take DeAndre Swift here. I'll IKB that over RJ Harvey. I don't really like RJ Harvey. Dobbins is back. They pay Dobbins pretty well. I'm kind of out on that, but we'll take DeAndre Swift. So a pretty, I would say boomer RB room, but we do have Jeremiah Love on here, who's you know, I don't know if the boomers are in on early second round rookie running backs, but we'll take that. And then let's see what the board gives to us. See what T-Bear does. My preference would be Makai Lemon. If Makai Lemon is gone, we'll have to figure out what we do here. Man, I'm surprised that it still has Harvey up here. Like, it's... This is very interesting from the sidekick. If Lemon's gone, I don't know. It'd be very hard for me to not just take Sutton, but maybe we do take... Maybe we do, like, take Montgomery and really kill the room at running back. But let's not. We get Lemon. We get Lemon in his fun interview style. All right, so for the audio listeners, we got Cook, Love, Rashee Rice, DeVonta, Swift, and Lemon. So could we do hyper fragile running back and stop at 4? Maybe. Maybe. We'll see. We won't commit to anything. But running back definitely not going to be, you know, again, surprised that the sidekick still had running back that high, but maybe it does see I don't know how much it reads into, like, messing with the other drafters. I don't know how much it reads into that, because it would be interesting. I mean, we have B-Spurf in the one hole. He's got Bijan, Jacobs, Travion, and Judkins through 5. Nico Collins, his only receiver. So we're kind of building, again, it's kind of mirror image of each other from the one hole. Go AZ Card says, stupid Morikawa making me drink before 8 a.m. Didn't you famously say, you know, you couldn't come on this stream because you couldn't drink early? So I can't, you coming on this stream, not enough. But Colin Morikawa, I'm disappointed, Go AZ Cards. I thought we were friends, but yes, Colin Morikawa is probably driving a lot of people to drinking, a lot of laptops slammed, a lot of angry tweets. But, you know, this is a safe place from all that. But appreciate you, Go AZ Cards. Thanks for coming in, hanging out this morning. Brian the Goober, GM. I hope everyone's having a great start to the day. Everyone was. And then Colin Morikawa struck. And the sound you hear is the gnashing of teeth and the lamentations of the chalk, who finally get their comeuppance. The year of the chalk is in danger, because 50% owned in high dollar single entry. Colin Morikawa withdrew. Highest owned in one done. Crazy stuff. But appreciate you, Brian. Hope you're having a great day. Hope you're marked safe from all that nonsense and you're able to just enjoy your day. I did get to watch the video, by the way, the behind the scenes stuff. Great job putting that together. That was really fun. So was really cool to see, and just made me want to qualify for the dog bowl again. Not that I didn't already, but it's like you got to go back. Got to go back for football. So fingers crossed we can make that happen, but we will be chasing the dog bowl dream again starting in September. So just stick around. We got it's just, the cycle does not end. All right, let's see. We really would like Parker Washington. Really kind of hope Bird Enthusiast doesn't take him. Bird Enthusiast takes him. Yeah. All right. I think I just take Mahomes here. It's ahead of ADP. These guys all have quarterbacks, but I'm kind of okay. We have Rashee Rice as our wide receiver 1. I think we need this. If this team wins, it's because Rashee Rice is going off, and that'll be a function of Mahomes. So let's grab that, and then we'll figure out the other positions thereafter. T-Bear takes Herbert. So T-Bear did take another quarterback. So we definitely were not safe from someone not taking 2 quarterbacks through 7 or 8 rounds, which is just such the meta here. Go AZ Cards. It's more that I work Monday through Friday and can't draft without a beer. Not a good look drinking in the morning for the world to see and then clocking in maybe a Monday holiday. Yeah. Yeah, it would be tough to explain that one away. I hear you. All right. I think I'm I think I like Kyle Pitts more than all these other guys in this range. So we're just going to take our guy, Kyle Pitts. So there we go. We got Mahomes, James Cook, Jeremiah Love, Javonte, and DeAndre Swift, Rashee Rice, Mekhi Lemon, Kyle Pitts. So we are going to need to go hard at wide receiver as this draft winds out. B-Spurf, our mirror image has ended because he took Sutton, but then he took Jerry Rice there, a.k.a. Michael Wilson, in round 7. Otherwise, our teams are pretty close to one another. Lock me in for Memorial Day or Labor Day. I think we could arrange that. We definitely make that happen. But yeah, hope you're having a great day. Go AZ Cards. Crazy stuff happening. Now let's check in on some other friends and family. Over here on the right side of the board, we got T-Bear. He's got Hampton, Jefferson, Bucky. So not afraid of a potential fall on Bucky. Interested to see Terrence's thoughts on Bucky Irving, Kyron, DJ Moore, Jaden Daniels, Justin Herbert, and Ricky Pearsall. Again, not afraid of Mike Evans. So no fear from T-Bear, but we would expect nothing less from him. The Bird Enthusiast. Amon Ra, Brock Bowers, Josh Allen, DeVonta Smith, Carnell Tate. So no running backs through 5, but then picks up with David Montgomery in the 6th, Rico Dowdle in the 8th, and sandwiched in there is Parker Washington. Nice team there. Bird Enthusiast. We'll see how you round out your crew. The Brooklyn Bum. Jonathan Taylor, Ken Walker. So running back, and then T. Higgins, Zay Flowers, Romo Dunze. He pairs up Burrow with Higgins, Chuba, and Jacoby Myers. So not bad there. Brian's going to have a hard time taking Mike Evans this year. I'm kind of with you. I don't love it. I don't love the fact that the Bucks didn't bring him back. You know, that sometimes these teams that know the player best and then let him go, it's like not the best sign. I just assumed he was going to retire a Buccaneer. So I'm not a huge fan of that. That said, we do love our Niners. So I don't know if I want none of that. And it seemed like he was pretty much back when he played at the end of the year. So I don't know. It's not my favorite click. I think he's a guy I'm just kind of going to be at or around market for. But it's there is a certain amount of like dust ball risk there. All right, let's see what Bird Enthusiast does. Then we're up. The machine wants us to take Matt Stafford. I don't know if I want Matt Stafford here. I don't think I need that. What I'm going to do instead is take Jaden Reed, because Dave, T-Bear, both have 2 quarterbacks. So even if I want another quarterback, I'm pretty live to get somebody. I'd be kind of surprised. So let's take Reed there and see what happens. Brian, yeah, that was kind of the comp I was thinking about exactly. Cooper Kupp and the Rams, same sort of thing. And Cooper Kupp was fine, but he definitely is nowhere near what he was. At least we got to see Evans at the end of the season. And maybe you could just say that the Bucks are just so loaded at receiver that something had to give. But yeah, it is a little disquieting, because it does feel like, from a team perspective, like Mike Evans was such an institution. Dobbs was the next pick. So good pick by Dave there. That is actually who I wanted in that vote. Man, it really wants me to take another quarterback. All right, let's do it. Let's take Malik Willis. We're going to IKB it. We're going to get our guy. The only issue here is not big issue, but I know I have Malik Willis in pick 130 around here. Not a huge deal, but yeah, good pick from Dave with the Dobbs selection. I think he would have been the perfect add to the team. You could even argue maybe I should have taken Dobbs first over Reed, but can't win them all. You can't win them all. Go AZ Cards. Day 1 is going great. I'm done. And 9 of 10 DK line. Yeah, that's it. Rip. Rip. Joel says, I'm down on Bucky too, but getting him at the 3-4 turn is more than fine. The 3-4 turn. I just think he should be more at the 4-5 turn to me. I think that's like ultimately what his price should fall to. And even then, if you want to play the game of like, who do I prefer over Bucky? I'd take Kyron, DeVonta. I'd take Swift, Scat, Judkins, Tutin. I don't like Henderson, but I'd probably say Henderson over Bucky. Like, I think this whole range in the 5th round, I'd rather have than Bucky. If you take away the goal line work and you give Gainwell the good passing stuff, like, what's left? It's so bad. And he didn't even look good last year. We're just hanging on to like 2 years ago and a guy who wasn't the best prospect. Like, I think it might be over. I don't know. It scares me. Adams over Evans. Yes, for me. And I don't even like Adams all that much, but I'd say Adams over him. If Evans stays healthy and Kittle misses most of the season, I like Evans. Keyword if. Yeah. I think that's fair. Evans has had some weird injury stuff. But yeah, it's a tough ask. Hey, Hartman, GM to you. Hope you're having a wonderful morning. Appreciate you coming in, hanging out. Go AZ Cards likes Terry over Edom. I like McLaurin a lot. I really do. I think he's undervalued. It was just like such a bad year for the Commanders. I think things are going to get better over there. All right, sorry about that. Brian notes correctly. Reminder to like the video if you haven't already. Absolutely. Thank you, Brian. Thank you. And if you haven't sub to the channel. It's free to sub, and it helps me a lot. Appreciate all of you. But yeah, thanks, Brian, for the reminder for people. Juwan Jennings has not signed yet. Very curious to see where he goes. See what Bird Enthusiast does here. Yeah, I was going to take Kincaid. I was kind of surprised he was still hanging out there. But I agree with the sidekick. Josh Downs, to me, is a great pick. Josh Downs, big beneficiary of the Pittman departure. You could argue that Warren, the tight end, is actually a bigger beneficiary if you want. I like both of them a lot now. But Josh Downs' price is so cheap that I think he's a winner. He's somebody that we were adding shares to earlier in the cycle and was a little bit of a win for us, I'd say. So we have Josh Downs on the team. Khalil Shakir's been falling on the news that he had foot or ankle surgery. I've read tightrope somewhere. I don't know if we have it confirmed on what it was. The sidekick is in on that, at least as of now. A few different things. Yeah, we could take Kelsey with Mahomes. I think I'm more inclined to take now Shakir's gone. I think I would have taken Shakir there. Mendoza, Danny Dimes. I'm going to take Daniel Jones. I have a lot of Mendoza, but I'm getting a little skeeved out by the reports that they want to bring in a veteran to show Mendoza the ropes. And people were saying that Brady, I can't remember. I wish I could credit them. I think it was Davis talking about this. Maybe it was on Ship Chasing. Was that Brady is like kind of old school of the view that you should have like a veteran mentor the rookie and you don't want to start the rookie on day one. That's not great to me because now if Mendoza's not starting day one, well, when is he starting? And then what do you do if Kirk Cousins is starting and they're winning? Like I don't know. I feel like there is some like, who was it? Was it Carson Palmer? Like one of these high profile rookies that really just has like a red shirt year. I think we're starting to get a little bit of red shirt risk. Maybe I'm being a chicken little about it, but as someone with almost 30% Mendoza, I'm a little nervous about that being a genuine possibility. I'm fine if it's like you miss 4 games, but then like, well, what's the point? Like just sitting through 4 games. So I don't know. I could see it being, you know, if they actually do bring in Cousins, who we know is a huge competitor, we could be looking at a lot of zeros from Mendoza. So I don't know. Ultimate White Male does bring up a good point. Winning might be relative for the Raiders. Yeah. But they could be better. They've got, at least from a fantasy perspective, they've got a lot of fun parts. I mean, with Genty, Bowers, an improved offensive line, a coaching staff that's not inept. They play in a tough division, so, you know, I don't think they're really going to compete for anything, but, like, I could see them not being the total laughing stock, especially with a good offensive line. You know, and then if Cousins is competent, like, I don't know, that's a lot of firepower they'll have to work with. So, again, it's hard. We haven't seen it from the Raiders in so long, but I do feel like they could be a better team. And again, just seeing that red shirt risk has me kind of backing off on Mendoza a little bit. I have so much I'm going to be overweight, even if I don't take another share between now and the draft. Steven says, years and years ago, rookie QB did sit a year or so, but back then there were less teams. Now a rookie is expected to play early. Yeah, that seems like the more modern view of it. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I still just have that slight bit of concern there. All right, hold on. Let me see. What do we want to do? Jonathan Brooks goes, let's just take Brenton Strange. This is a nice ADP value on him. Take Brenton Strange there. That seems fine. We don't need another quarterback because we got 3. Interesting, it's recommending running backs more than receivers with how heavy we were at running back. I'm kind of surprised, unless it just doesn't think these receivers are likely to contribute that much in this range. Copy paste laid. Bucky and Sean Tucker and Bucky and Gainwell are good to take together. Yeah, I don't hate that because of how cheap. I guess more so Bucky and Tucker. Bucky and Gainwell is a lot of running back firepower, especially if you're or draft capital. Hold on, let me know who I want. I'm going to take Chris Rodriguez here because I don't think this room's going to let me have him. And you could say, like, this is a total panic pick, but I kind of want to get some of that. And I think this is pretty close to where he's going to go. Again, I don't think he's going to be there in this room at 178. I could be wrong. But in this draft where I know I have a lot of people on top of things, I do kind of want to get that here. And I can back off of running, especially with Strange. Now we got a little bet on Jacksonville that we kind of cobbled together here. Yeah, I guess for me, Tucker, Bucky and Gainwell is aggressive when you run the risk of Tucker like stealing the touchdowns in that. You're not locking up a whole backfield, which has me slightly concerned. Whereas if you go Bucky and Tucker, you know, you didn't spend very much on the latter. Go Easy Cards. When is the Brian and Gumby interview going to happen with Candle? I mean, that would be amazing. We would love to have the brothers on. I think that's the people are demanding, and it would be a very hard hitting interview. Definitely not a softball interview. By the way, the sidekick. What did I do wrong? What did I do wrong, sidekick? Oh my goodness. Are you gonna load, please? No? All right, that's okay. That's okay. You take your time, sidekick. You work hard. All right, let's check in on some friends here. Goods. Let's see what you did. You started with the 4 receivers: Puka, Neighbors, AJ Brown, DeVonta Adams, and then took Tutin and Warren. So again, somebody in the chat, I apologize, don't remember exactly who, mentioned that if you go 4 receivers, pretty good chance you start with Tutin, and we see that exactly here with Goods. Then Jalen Warren, Drake May, Tony Pollard, Laporta, Tyler, Ferguson, Rashad White, Travis Hunter, Jacoby Brissett, and Keaton Missile. So yeah, Missile was another guy I did not think would come back to me, although he would have been intriguing. Game tight, loading up at running back. My God. Yeah, he went 0 RB this drafter here. He went double elite tight end with McBride and Loveland in starting round 8. From round 8 to 15, only one non-running back pick. Darian Price, Jonah Coleman, Mason, Big Mike Washington, Emmett Johnson, Alvin Kamara, Tank Bigsby, with only Boston mixed in there. My God. So very aggressive zero RP strategy there. All right. Let's see. All right, what do we want to do? The sidekick says, "You're on your own, pal. You're on your own." I think for me, it's Jerry Jeudy. Not the most fun click, but again, a little bit of a bet on talent here. We'll see if he comes, if Bird Enthusiast lets me have him. He does. He takes Brian Robinson, another free agent. We'll see where he goes. But let's grab Jerry Jeudy there. Don't really have any great late stacking options. Any great stacking options for us, but we'll see what happens. Brian notes, always available for you for Chad. I'll help you make it a hard. Yeah, all right, perfect. Perfect. Yeah, no, we should figure something out. If you actually would want to come on, because I think that'd be a lot of. I know you're more in the daily street, so if we want to table that for dog bowl season, but absolutely would love to have you guys on at some point. Go AZ Card says, what running back rooms are the people, aka ADP, possibly wrong? Hold on, let me channel the sidekick and take Calvin Ridley here. I think the sidekick likes Ridley, but who the heck knows, because it's left me. What running backs is the ADP wrong on? Let me look at the board and see who stands out to me. Hubbard, I think, is still a little too cheap, although he's risen. I think he's a little higher in this round. What is his ADP? Let me see where Brooklyn Bum. Yeah, 84. Okay, so a little ahead of ADP. I think he's too cheap. He's like kind of a quiet winner in all this free agency stuff. Dowdle's gone. Jonathan Brooks coming off of 2 knee surgeries. An offense that seems like it could potentially be kind of fun. I think Hubbard is kind of a sneaky winner. I'm surprised Algier's up this high. I have a ton of him. It does seem like one of Connor or Benson is live to get cut, and Algier is the one. It could also be kind of a horrible split. I don't know. I'm glad he's risen because I did pack my bags, but a little surprised that he's up over a full round, almost 2 full rounds there. I think his ADP was like 102, and here he goes at 78. This Mike Washington price I think is too high. I think we overshot a little bit, putting him all the way up at 124. I mean, he's definitely live to just be a day 3 guy, and we see those guys sometimes don't even contribute. Dylan Sampson to me is kind of in a weird spot. I don't know what he really showed to warrant that. I guess if you just project him as the running back 2 in Cleveland, Judkins coming off a knee injury, but gosh, Dylan Sampson came out and said he doesn't like to be tackled. Like, that's not great. I don't know if I don't want my running back saying they don't like to be tackled. Maybe that's just the Cam Scatabo truther in me who actively tries to run into people. And so I'm kind of on that side of the running back spectrum. But I don't know. I didn't see anything from Sampson that said, I don't even know if he's going to be the running back 2. I think that pick is kind of wonky. All right, let's see. We're coming back up. What do we want to do? All right, I'll take Zachariah Branch. There's a lot of similar rookie bets kind of in this range, so we'll take him. Theo Johnson, I think he's going to keep on sliding all the way to the end with Isaiah likely coming in. Yeah, exactly. Dot Snowman. The sidekick just said, "Forget this guy. Forget this guy." All right, and all right, there goes Trey Tucker. Tight ends. Interesting. Is Christian Kirk still a free agent? I guess so. Interesting there. Don't mind that, T-Bear. I think, Kirk could rise if he latches on somewhere. We'll see where that is. He definitely showed some signs of life late in the season. Najee goes. Speaking of guys that could see a rise, let's take Jeremy Bernard and then wrap it up at wide receiver. We'll end up with 3 rookie running receivers: Mekhi Lemon, Zachariah Branch, Jeremy Bernard, and then mix that in with a couple dust balls in Judy and Ridley. So interesting room. Not really adhering to any ideological lines. But so far for the audio listeners, we got a 3-5-8-2. Mahomes, Malik Willis, Daniel Jones, James Cook, Jeremiah Love, Javonte Williams, DeAndre Swift, and Chris Rodriguez. Rashee Rice, Mekhi Lemon, Jaden Reed, Josh Downs, Jerry Jeudy, Calvin Ridley, Zachariah Branch, Jeremy Bernard, and then Pitts and Bretton Strange. I kind of like this team. I think it's kind of fun. I don't know if the people agree there. Brian notes AD Mitchell's intriguing at such a low ADP. Yeah, he is. He definitely is. If Geno signs with the Jets, I'm not a Geno truther, but it's certainly got to be better than what they were trotting out last season. The question for me is, are they going to draft a receiver? They've been mocked in some places to taking one of the first round receivers, and then what does that do to Mitchell? That said, pick 16, they let who did they let? I'm blanking on the guy they let go. Or Mechie. Mechie went over to the Panthers. So, worst case scenario is he's the wide receiver 3. Wide receiver 3 on the Jets, not great. But again, round 16, you're basically free. So I don't mind that. And we know he's a spike week guy. We know the talent's there. So yeah, I agree, Brian. I think that's kind of a fun click. I've taken a few shares of him, but not a ton. Greg says Mike Washington to Seattle is going to set off the after. Oh, wheels up on him. Thank goodness I was at like 30% before the combine on Mike Washington, because I don't think I've gotten a single share since. But yeah, I just think we did a little bit of shark jumping. Guessing the machine is getting an update. Maybe, hopefully. Steven notes he had a huge week this past year in VR. I'm assuming you're talking about AD Mitchell. Yeah. Yeah, he did. He did. And it was around Dog Bowl season too, so he was very top of mind. I want to say it was actually the week before the Dog Bowl, like week 14. I'm trying to remember, but yeah, he definitely flashed at a highly visible time. Let's see what Polo and Bird enthusiasts do. So Polo takes Theo Johnson there. This is a guy I took none of, and I'm going to capitulate on Jake Tonjes. They just re-signed him to a not insignificant deal. I thought they were very live to maybe draft somebody or bring in someone else and kind of bridge their way to Kittle. Tonjes was fantasy relevant. The tight end in San Francisco is not nothing. I'll take Tonjes in round 19, especially if I have Pitts and Strange, because I feel pretty good about my tight end room. T-Bear takes Burke, so we know T-Bear is a Davis Maddock enthusiast as well. And let's just take DeMont Claiborne. That's easy peasy. So that'll do it for this team. 3-6-8-3. Mahomes, Willis, Jones, James Cook, Jeremiah Love, Javonte, DeAndre Swift, CRod, and Claiborne. Wide receivers, again, we're trying to make it up a little in volume. Rashee Rice, Mekhi Lemon, Jaden Reed, Downs, Judy, Ridley, and then Zachariah Branch, Jeremy Bernard, Pitts, Bretton Strange, Jake Tonjes. All right, how many likes are we at? How many likes? Should we do another one? Let me see. I'm just afraid I'm going to see like 15 likes. I'm going to hang my head in shame. Let's see. All right, 27, not bad. All right, can we get to 30? Can we get to 30, and then we'll do a little board. We'll try to hop in a little board, but I'm going to do it on my phone. I'm going to assume you all can get me to 30. I'm not going to sit here and check the homework. I'm like the nice substitute teacher. But let me fire up the little board, and then I do gotta go. All right, 3 more in the little board. So if you want to get in, just something a little more low key. I know some people like the little boards, the lower the lower dollar contests. Kind of nice to mix those in. I only have 6 left, but I've saved them pretty much for streams. So let me see. Can I get the sidekick to work? I'm gonna try to fix this on the fly. Good golly. I got the 1.1. We get the influencer. All right, we rebooted the sidekick successfully. So there we go. All right, so let's see. We got Mr. Worth here at the 10. We got Whohames at the 11. Insect Friction at the 12. Arlox at the 5. If anyone else is in here, let me know. Let me know. All right, let's see. Hey, Whohames, appreciate you so much coming in, hanging out. See you in the draft here at the 11 hole. If y'all don't sub to Who, you should. Who has been doing some awesome shows. Who does some shows with Steve over at Fanspeak. Those are must watch. Whether they're on Steve's Fanspeak channel or Whohames channel, definitely would tune into those. Those tend to be more in the afternoon. But appreciate you, Who. Steven wonders where Njoku will go. Yeah, I don't want to say the glue factory, but gosh, I feel like Njoku's pretty dusty. But you never know. Tight ends can play till 100 years old. But yeah, I don't know. I'm curious. That reminds me, like Chig signing with the Commanders. Pretty big win for Chig there. Pretty big win. The Ben Sinnott people just find new and innovative ways to lose. As that does not work out. Copy paste laid. Chuba and Brooks, a good pairing now with both how cheap they are. Could make the argument that's the difference between Swift and Manungai with Chuba and Brooks. Yeah, I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all. All right, let me just switch up the music for the different draft. As always, let me know if the music's too high, too low, too annoying, whatnot. We're gonna swap it up just a hair. My goodness. All right. Go Easy Card. Chad Candle's 12-hour streams for final push of NFL season multiple. I would love to. I need to figure out when I can make that work with the wife and kid. Because it's just a big ask to be like, oh, can you watch the kid while I do a 12-hour stream? But yeah, we'll see. I do want to do something like that. And I really want to do something for hitting 500 subs. And I haven't done anything yet. But it is in the docket. I've got some plans for the stream. I really do want to increase the production value, do more things for you guys. So again, the likes and subs help that happen. So appreciate all of you. Would love to turn this into more. But having so much fun doing this with you all. Beastburf hasn't had a little board since pre-World War III. Yeah. Yeah. Steven says, I like when hosts have guests like Pete did last year. I can put a face to the name. Yeah, Pete does an amazing job with that. And Pete is such a good host. I mean, my God, he really does a good job matching the energy with the guests and just getting the most out of them and knows when to let a guest just keep talking and like tell a story. Like he never like cuts someone off when they're about to say something funny or cool. Like and that's like a skill. Like he's really good at the interviews and having guests on, because he has such a wide range of people on and they all tend to like be great watches. All right. Oh yeah, Arlox, you're in at the 5. Okay. Arlox again. Oh, your name is in there. Sorry, I just somehow skipped over it. Copy paste laid. Maybe Njoku is a Panther or Goddard. Feels like one will be. Yeah, I haven't been taking Sanders for kind of that reason. He feels super fragile, although he's free. But yeah, I could certainly see them adding someone. Miami needs a tight end. Yeah, we're not believing the Greg Dulcich. Yeah, Whohames notes Miami signed Dulcich. Yeah, well, how valuable is the tight end role in Miami? We will see though. Beastfur says there was a report of Njoku and Eagles. Yeah, I probably would want some Njoku if he goes there. I'll be honest. To me, it's a little weird. Like, why would they let Goddard walk and then Hold on, I'm going to take Bauer. I'm surprised that it doesn't want me to go Bijan Neighbor. I'm going to go Bijan Neighbor, or excuse me, Bauer's Neighbors here. I'm a little light on Neighbors, but this is kind of a nice ADP value. I'm sorry, Sidekick, but let's do that. So we go Bijan Neighbors, Bowers start in this one. Yeah, I just don't understand why you'd let Goddard leave and then bring in Njoku. Like, what's kind of the point? Like, you're letting a guy leave who's... I think the fans like him. I think he's a good enough player. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, Miami needs a real... They need Darren Waller back. Yeah, I don't know. Miami needs a lot of things. Personally, I'd rather Miami sign or draft like a tight end in the second or third round. One of, maybe if like Stowers falls into round 2, or just one of those project guys, Pure Claires, Jollies, Roushes, whomever, and try to develop them. I would be most excited about that than bringing in like a dusty veteran in this like rebuild era. OTR notes Pete is just a good... Yeah, that's kind of the upshot of it. Agree there, OTR. Copy paste Lade notes at Dent. Stop it. They have Ingram, and it's gonna work. They have Evan Ingram. They have the Joker. We're not giving up on that. Yeah, that's kind of killer. I've taken a few very late Ingram shares, saying like, well, what if? Feels pretty bad though. It feels pretty bad. All right, let's see what our friends and family are doing. Our locks, 0 RB locks. JSN, Trey McBride, Chris Olave. We've got Mr. Worth going Genty Love and AJ Brown. And Who Hames, Jefferson, Achan, Javonte. And on the clock, Terry McLaurin. So I think you were the one talking about McLaurin. I like McLaurin. We mentioned that a few minutes ago. In Insect Friction, Cook, Hampton, and then Arashi, Rice, and Ladd. So it gets a nice Charger stack going already. Go AZ Cards notes, what week will Sharps come back? The last thing I read said week 12, which is like super late because he did not get his ACL surgery until February, which was a surprise. So I don't know. Like I think people that did the math of 9 months from the date of the surgery pushed it all the way to week 12. We were kind of counting on week 6, thinking that it had happened right away, but it didn't. So we'll see. I mean, ACL recoveries keep getting faster and faster. And someone please fact check that if that's wrong. But that was like what I remembered when that news sort of broke, that he was still had just had the surgery fresh. Greg notes, Dolphins should not draft anyone that doesn't play O-line, D-line, or DB. I would agree, except we keep drafting offensive linemen year after year after year, and they just stink. Like, we keep trying, and it doesn't work. All right, let's see. What do we got here? The machine wants me to take Mike Evans. We'll see if we do. Probably won't. We'll probably end up taking Cam Scatabo. But we'll see. It does have Scatabo. You know, it says teammate. We can't ignore that. I can't separate Malik and Scat. So let's do that and then see what the machine wants us to do. It's still asking for Mike Evans. All right. We'll take Mike Evans. I will listen to you, Sidekick. I know you're probably tired of me ignoring you all the time. So we got Bijan, Scat, Neighbors, Mike Evans, and Brock Bowers. So kind of a not too heavy on any one position. We'll see how we land the plane. The turns can be a little weird, but we will do our best. Beastburf drafted a lot of Ingram last year. I don't think you need to fall for it again. That said, he's in a 20-round draft. I don't hate him as your tight end 3. Like, we know he's capable of getting there, but it could just be over. It could just be super over for Ingram. He wasn't getting the snaps and the routes. It almost felt like they kind of regretted bringing him in as soon as he got there. But I'm falling for it again every now and then. I don't think I have a ton, just to be clear. but sometimes your late tight end targets get scooped up and you're sitting there in the last round and want one more. Who Aims is just getting a unique combo thing. Nice. No, I like the team you've got there so far. Go Easy Cards. Ingram's ADP. I stack him with Nick's. Call me the fish. There you go. I just don't think it can be that wrong. We've seen Evan Ingram like have monster games before, and you're getting him basically free. So I don't think I can hate it too much. By the way, little update on the players. Siwoo Kim 1 over through 6. Russell Henry 1 over through 5. So bad day for the chalk. Really bad day for the chalk so far. No one worse though than the WD from one Colin Morikawa, but certainly the chalk in ruins right now. I don't know where Scotty's at. Let's see. Scotty Scheffler's 1 under through 6, so he's playing a par 5. So we'll see. Little players update for those wondering. Insect Friction adding Tyler Warren, who I want more of, but he's in a tough spot in the draft. Like I want more of him as a player, but I really like Swift. I kind of like Swift and Judkins there. And then these receivers I'm all pretty in on. And he's just kind of almost feels like middling it between elite tight end and just getting a bunch of cheapies. But I don't know. Warren at the beginning of the year was so awesome until the Colts collapsed. And with Pittman gone, I like Warren. So I really need to make a conscious effort to grab more of him. Go Easy Cards has a lot of Finau, who of course is, I think he's in second. He's T1. He's 5 under. 5 under through 7. So scorched earth, but paired with Morikawa. Killer. Good shout on Finau, at least so far though. But man, what a nightmare. What a nightmare. All right, what is Dart's ADP is 85. So I think if I want Jackson Dart on this team, I would have to take him at the turn because he's not going to come back at pick 96, especially I see a bunch of people with no quarterbacks. I can't imagine him making it to me. So I have to decide now, do I want to do that? I don't know that I need it. I don't really love Dart and Scat together, but I also have Neighbors. So, I mean, we could just make a massive bet on the Giants. If I'm going to take any of these guys unstacked, Jalen Hurts makes a lot of sense. Man, I just don't like RJ Harvey. But at a certain point, anyone has a price. But man, I don't know. I think he's going to continue to fall. Tough choice here. The wide receiver just dried up pretty heavily. Sutton goes too. Man. With everyone I want going away, I think Dart is going to be one of my picks here. And then the question is do I take like Ramondre or Harvey? I guess I capitulate and I'll take Harvey. I don't love it, but you know, there are no bad players, just bad prices. I think the RJ Harvey price is bad, but we're getting a pretty hefty discount on it. So we'll take Harvey at 73. I don't know what his true ADP is with Dobbins coming back and muddling things up. And Dobbins also getting a decent amount of money to come back. But that's okay. It's a little bored. We're going to experiment a little, get some guys that we're generally not as in on. Steven asking, is Neighbors going to miss much of the early season? I thought I read no. That some of that FUD was being taken away. And that we're not actually going to lose much production from Neighbors. But someone, again, please correct me if I'm wrong. Also want to give a shout out again to Ultimate White Male. Thank you so much for the first ever super chat. It means a lot, and appreciate all of you hanging out and getting me to 500 subs so we can start doing a little more here. But just wanted to give a shout out because now, you know, in the lore of the channel, you know, we have our first ever guest was Bindles. Now we've got our first ever super chat from Ultimate White Male. So there you go. Appreciate that. Copy paste Lade noting that is Rodgers caught standing when the music stops if the Steelers sign Kirk. Not enough room for Kirk and CRod to both have job, it seems. So who else is left? The Jets don't officially have anyone, but I don't think Aaron Rodgers wants to go back there. The Vikings have not yet signed Kyler, so the Vikings need a quarterback. Yeah, I don't know. That would be kind of a nightmare scenario for me because I've been taking a lot of Aaron Rodgers. Oh, the Jets have Geno. You're right. I forgot they did that. So that's off the table. Go Easy Cards asking question. I have no idea. Pre-bracket, who's everyone's favorite to win March Madness? I know zero college basketball. That's not going to stop me from filling out a bracket. And maybe I'll even do a bracket show or something. I don't know. But I have no idea. No idea. Hey, Purple Yosh. Sloppy seconds. Absolutely not. Appreciate you so much, Purple Yosh. Thank you so much. That's awesome. All right. I don't know what to say. Thank you. It's awesome. But yeah, it means so much that you all would hang out and support, because it's so much fun doing these drafts with you all. So I'm very lucky that I get to do it and have such an awesome group of people to hang with in the mornings. Because sometimes you hang out with your normie friends, and I don't mean that in a pejorative sense. I just mean people that don't draft NFL teams on March 12th. Like, I can't talk to anybody in real life about this. They all think I'm nuts. But I come here and it's like, no, we're not nuts. There's dozens of us. Dozens of us willing to do it. So it is nice to have this. You don't feel too much like a loon when you're sweating NFL year round. So let's see. The sidekick is just pastes Mahomes at the top of the queue. We'll see if he comes to us. Hey, Go Easy Cards, very sloppy. Thank you, Go Easy Cards. Really appreciate that. That is so awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you, and thank you for hanging out, man. It's always a blast having you in here, and you always ask great questions that get the chat rolling. Even if you were ignored on your March Madness query, and I could not help you there. All right, let's go Mahomes. The sidekick wants Addison over Pittman. That's interesting. All right, sidekick. I'll listen to you. I'll go Addison there. So we're going to try to listen to the sidekick here just a little bit more. Pretty thin wide receiver room. Neighbors. Actually, no, not that thin. Neighbors, Evans, Addison. I've had worse. Very balanced team. Don't find myself building a lot like this, making this like almost rainbow pattern on the draft board. Tend to find myself clumping picks and then catching up with volume. So we'll see how this goes. Romeo Dobbs pick 98. Again, I don't know if the sidekick's updated, and I'm not saying this in any kind of slight against the sidekick. I don't know if it has Dobbs's new landing spot baked in yet. So my assumption is it has, because they're very on top of things, but I had not seen. If it has, then they're still ranking Addison over Dobbs there, and I think personally I'd probably still put Dobbs ahead of him. Beastburf would pick Arizona. Don't follow much college anymore. Yeah, so as an Arizona State guy, I don't like Arizona, and every time I pick them in the bracket, they lose. So they've kind of become something of a happiness hedge where I have them going really far, and then that way if the team I don't like goes far, well, at least maybe I can profit off of it. And if they lose, I'm like, well, sucks to be them. I don't care about this bracket that much. GM Dreadstrap Bombs. Hey, appreciate you so much coming in. Hey, our sneaky Lions fan. I learned a fact about Jetstrap Bombs. Actually, not a Jets fan. So despite the name, but appreciate you, Jetstrap Bombs. Go Easy Cards. No way I would miss the first day of Candles getting super chats. Best morning YouTube show out there. Yeah. It's such a good title because it's like the only morning YouTube show. So there we go. Winning by default is still is still winning. You never let someone take that away from you. But appreciate that, Go AZ Cards. Happy to carry that title. Of course, best ball breakfast. We'll call it. It starts at 10. It's not really morning. This is a morning show. That's more of a brunch. I guess breakfast is in the name. You know what? Anyway, let's roll on. Beastburg, being a Big 12 guy, I believe Arizona measures well in Ken Palm metrics. Yeah. I've heard. I understood some of those words. I know about Ken Palm, and I use it when I make my bracket. I never win my bracket, so we might have to just return to drafting off of vibes. Jets drop bombs. How about the Arizona State implosion yesterday? Oh man, if you have been a fan of Arizona State, you know they are live to implode in all sports. I mean, famously against Duke this year in college football, all they had to do was not turn the ball over, and they win. And being an ASU fan is literally nothing but suffering. They have not had our most exciting game. Like the happiest I've been watching ASU was the Peach Bowl last playoffs that they lost. Like they didn't even win the game. We were just excited it went to overtime. Like that's what it's like being an ASU fan. You don't even expect to win. You just hope. It's literally like you just being a DFS grinder. All you want is the sweat, and then we lose. Yeah, they did. They fired Hurley. We got the bad Hurley. We got the brother of the UConn coach, who was prone to meltdowns. All right, the machine wants Kyler. I don't know if I'm actually going to do that with all due respect. I think I will listen to it on these receivers. We'll try to pick up a late quarterback. So let's go Juwan Jennings, see who it recommends. Does it still want Concepcion over Shakir? And now, see, it's interesting. It flipped it to Shakir. Don't know why it does that. You know what? Am I too slow? They put Kyler as Minnesota in parentheses. Did I miss something? They haven't officially brought him in. I don't know. I'll listen to the sidekick. I so rarely do. I'll give it this draft. So we'll take Jennings. Kyler, we obviously don't know where Jennings is going, but being that we did spend up for Addison, we need Addison to be good. Let's pair that. So for the audio listeners, we kind of got for me at least, a kind of a weird team. Jackson Dart, Mahomes, Kyler Murray, Bijan, Scatabo, RJ Harvey, Malik Neighbors, Mike Evans, Jordan Addison, Juwan Jennings, and then Brock Bowers at tight end. So yeah, this is kind of let's have the sidekick land this plane. We'll see what happens. Go Easy Cards Notes. Even when ASU does great, they still disappoint at the end. Been a hard 4 decades of fandom. I hear that. It's been a little less than 4 decades for me, but it has been not a lot of joy. I think I was there when they stormed the field beating like Oregon, when Oregon was like number 3. And again, like we probably like went to the Sun Bowl that year. Beastburg, being a K-State fan wasn't much better. Yeah. No, I feel like kind of similar vibe there with ASU and K-State. I hear that. Go AZ Cards. I will never pick U of A. I want 0. I will. Yeah. Again, I just use it purely as a happiness hedge. Can't root for the mild cats there. Nez noting correctly. First of all, Nez, thanks for coming in, hanging out. If y'all don't sub to the Badge Bros, my God, please do. Like, what are you even doing here? But Nez noting correctly. Another Bijan share to an influencer. You know what is being as far on the minor influencer scale? I only get the 1.1 in little boards, and I feel like Underdog is just making fun of me. They're like, oh yeah, big influencer there. You can have your 1.1, not in the big board. No. It's got to be in the little board. But appreciate you, Nez. William says Hayden did his landing spots already. Put Kyler on Minnesota, and everything else was confirmed. Feels weird. Okay, gotcha. Mr. Brad notes, I heard if you don't take sidekick on the whole draft, they start messing with the settings for just the machines. Yeah, the machine's out of control. Yeah, Gunnar Ross. Nez from the Swolecast? Nez's appearance on the Swolecast, absolutely legendary. Yeah, the meme of the I guess I don't even know who it is, the old guy, like, Nez from the Swolecast? Jetstrap Bomb, to spend $500 on a product to ignore seems odd. Okay, let me address that. We're not going to IKB it the entire summer. I think for me, when there's this much uncertainty, I am more willing to go with the Sims in my head than what the SK is doing. I'm not saying this to disparage the sidekick, but I think with this much uncertainty, I'm willing to just chance it. When we know draft capital, landing spots, schedule, bye weeks, all those things, I think that the Sims are only going to get better. This is my take. This is not the official sidekick stance. I think the official sidekick stance might be quite the opposite. Let me make my pick, and then I will continue. All right, I'm going to take Travis Kelce. I said I was going to top click it, but I would rather have Travis Kelce than Mark Andrews. I'm sorry. It still wants Mark Andrews. Fine sidekick. Let's do it. Let's dance. 3 tight ends: Bowers, Kelce, Mark Andrews. Sure. Yeah, to me, the Sims are going to get better. I think they would say with this much uncertainty, the Sims are actually going to do a better job calculating it than you will. That's fine. Again, I'm just saying for my very vibesy lifestyle, I would rather it do math I know is like the actual math than we're having to project things like schedules and teammates and all that stuff. So we will be much more willing to adhere to it during the season. I also think it's going to be a great tool for some of the kind of marathon-y, sprinty stuff. I think it's going to be super valuable for that. At the end of the day, pre-draft contests are going to be a small proportion of my best ball kind of portfolio. So just willing to have a little more fun with it. I also think I want to do some contests where I literally just top click the sidekick. You know, like the Puppy 2, I might be like, okay, my Puppy 2 drafts, we're just going to use the sidekick. I'm also probably going to do a lot of slow drafts. So there we go. I think slow drafts are going to be useful for the sidekick. So that said, we're not going to ignore it the whole time. We're going to get our use out of it. But I also feel like for streaming, people like to know what the sidekick recommends. You know, for the people, for all of you. Who aims? I've streamed 2 bigger boards and got the 1.2, not the 1.1. Is Underdog saying I haven't made it? Well, they don't give it to me at all in the big board. Maybe you got to try a little board who on stream. Jetstrap Bomb, sidekick is a gym member. That is perfect. Sidekick doesn't care drafting on. These are not site credits. These are not site credits, my friend. Chris says YouTube won't let me send a super chat. Oh no, I don't know why. This is my first day having it, so I don't know why it wouldn't let you send a super chat. But appreciate that, Chris. No worries, always appreciated. Never never required. But thanks, Chris. I don't know why that would be. Good to Sims lock in when the draft is over and schedule is out. That's my take. Again, not the official sidekick take. Sack and Shady probably have very good reasons why that's wrong. I'm just telling you why I'm IKBing it now. So please don't, please don't tell them I'm saying these things and representing them as the truth or their viewpoint, because this is my vibesy take. People know this is a very vibes-based channel. So Chris says, I promise I have an active credit. I am sure it is that no one is doubting your credit worthiness, Chris. I'm sorry it's being weird. No! Why did the sidekick stop working? I didn't do anything. I was listening. You guys saw. Oh my god, hold on. I think I've fixed it by going back to the lobby in another tab. So maybe I can get it happy. So let me see. But you guys can't blame me on that. I've been listening to the sidekick this draft. Go Easy Cards asking NFL season best ball, including pre-draft. What's your goal for number of drafts? Probably 1,000. I think last year I got like 800. No, it was, you know what? It was like 1,000 including pre-draft. So I would say, I don't know, 1,500. I'm going to do some slows now that I have the sidekick, truly, because it's a lot easier with the sidekick. Because it's just going to help me catch up with what's going on. Mr. Brad seems pretty intuitive, better inputs, better sims. That's my view, but I think what the sidekick, what Leg Up would say is, well, there's so much uncertainty. We're going to be better at calculating that uncertainty than others, or than you'll be able to do without the tools. All right, we're going to take Jonathan Brooks here. Trey Benson is completely off my board, and yikes. Let's take Tank Dell. I like Tank Dell. We'll get a little different here. Yeah, very, very interesting structure I ended up with where I'm not taking like two of the same position in each with each pick, with the exception of the time I took two tight ends. Don't find myself drafting like that. Like on the turn, running back, tight end, receiver, running back. Well, I got off cycle. You know what I mean? Normally I'm like, okay, I need receivers and I'll double tap receivers. Didn't really end up with that this draft. FK Cooler says, that would have been my speculation as well if I'm simming the season more than simming the draft you're in. Yeah. Wow, they heard you and cut it immediately. I know, Hartman. It's okay. It's okay. I've actually, you know, I would really like to have Sacrilegious on. We've been talking about getting him on, but the schedule has not lined up. But Sac is always welcome to come on and hang out and embarrass me on my own channel if need be. But yeah, it's certainly, you know, they're awesome guys and very responsive to questions and inquiries in the Discord. So we're very lucky. We do have people building tools that are you know, willing to explain at least some of the inner workings. I mean, not the secret sauce, but you know, I think we have a very transparent community, which is really nice. Steven says, how did the sidekick users do in BRs and best ball last year? I do not know. I honestly, I don't have that information, but I also would caution the 1 year sample, because I mean, it's really like one slate. And so it's honestly, we may not live long enough to have a statistically worthy sample. I would have to imagine those sidekick users probably did pretty well in best ball. That would be my guess. I just can't tell you offhand like who won what. Yeah, Huhaim's noting they did well in best ball. Nez says sidekick crushed best ball. There you go. I mean, that would be my hunch. That would have been my hunch there. Steven says, I think Sims will improve in time. Yeah, I'm sure every year they're only going to get better. OTR notes it's quite literally made and ran by some of the best people. And yeah, I mean, people making fun of me for getting it. I wouldn't get it just for a comedic bit. Like I'm not that rich, guys. I can't just be like, oh, this is hilarious, I'm going to get this thing to ignore. I do think it has value. Go Easy Cards. Candles did the 20% off promo, so I did not get a promo. I get no discounts on anything. They probably would charge me more. Sean, first of all, or Senior Strong, first of all, GM to you. Appreciate you coming in and hanging out. Tank Dell has been my late pick go-to, him and Mims. Yeah, I like those clicks for sure. Especially Mims. He's like super free and can just, we've seen the sidekicks 2 years in a row. Sidekick user won the big board. If only we knew who that was. If only we knew who that was. Yeah, so there you go. There you go. Chris knows that I'm going to live long enough to... Yeah, exactly. I'm just saying, like, you know, a 10 slate sample is not that big, and that's 10 years. I mean, my God. BBM 16. Huhaim's Goods. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. For those of you who don't know, Goods won last year's big board. All right, so, and we're here trying to emulate that, trying to do the same. Chris Rodriguez, just notable, goes at pick 181 in this draft. Keaton Mitchell, 188. So for those of you tracking the rise on a few of these guys. We see that here in this draft. The sidekick, though, has left me. That's okay. That's okay. We don't need a quarterback. We don't need a tight end, so we can go best player available, running back, and wide receiver. I think it would be Ridley if Ridley's still here. If J-Fan has left, he's probably going to auto-draft him. He does. Thanks. All right, we'll take Singleton, and Jalen Naylor has my interest. He could get a sneaky amount of work. He was kind of almost a security blanket for McCarthy. It did feel like when McCarthy was under pressure, he'd be like, screw it, Naylor's down there somewhere, which is not what you'd expect on a team with Addison and Jefferson. So I don't know. I feel like Naylor could have a little bit of value. Signs over in Vegas. They're certainly live to draft a receiver. And so then, it could get a little crowded there. I'm not too worried about Thornton and Betch. I feel like those guys kind of might be remember guys. They also did lose out on a draft pick, a high draft pick they were expecting, and widely people mocking them using that draft pick to take a wide receiver. So we'll see what they end up doing. A team with a lot of needs. Maybe they, maybe they wait into the second round and take, they could end up with like an Omar Cooper to reunite with Mendoza. They could take CRod again, same thing. Those guys could be going in the second round. So anyway, kind of like Jalen Naylor as one of these kind of free late clicks. Yeah, Goods won exactly. A doggummed mortgage, absolutely there. Who Aim says, Goods, did you ignore the sidekick? Because that's a good question. That is a good question. Oh, Goods notes, to be fair, during the big board, there were no sims, so IKB, yeah. So now this year it is fully the sim kick. So it is slightly different. Apples to oranges. But I'm just going to read that IKBing was recommended. So there we go. We're using it just like Chris did to win. Or Goods did to win, rather. Chris says, one of my 4 second place week 16 BBM teams would have been 10th. Oh. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Chris set the record. We don't know if this is a real record, but I think it has to be. 4 second place teams in week 16 in BBM. The worst $4,000 you will ever win in your life went to Chris. Absolutely killer. Did not get a finals team. And apparently one of them would have gotten... I wouldn't have looked that up. That would kill me. Oops, I pulled that up. Steven says, I would get the sidekick, but I'm not good at setting things up. If someone explained how to use it, I might get it. Steven, it's not that difficult. I was able to do it. And you see me struggle here. Their Sack is super helpful. He's very, very available in Discords and whatnot. And their webpage for the installing is fairly clear. Like, you really just need to get it from the App Store. And then it's just like click the refresh button and it signs you in. It's not bad at all. Arlock, sharp drafting fellas. 0 RB doesn't feel good. No, but it is a strategy that's kind of nice to mix in. By the way, I Span Ford. I've never seen this man get drafted in anything. And they're not like throwing the draft, but they're building Flournoy Span Ford with Dak, so they're assuming everybody gets hurt, but they're still competitive enough to trot Dak out there. All right. Yeah, Mr. Brad, that is so brutal. I agree. I couldn't have looked. I respect the level of masochism needed to know that. I know. I did something similar. Nobody cares, but I would have won the Millie Maker in the conference championship week if instead of Adam scoring the touchdown, it was Kyron. I mean, not that cares. That's a big if, but he scored a touchdown from the 2-yard line. But if that went the other way, I won. Like, solo shipped it. I mean, it's ifs, ands, or buts, but it's one of those like, yeah, 1v1 play. It's a lot of money, but like, why did I scroll through the like 200 teams ahead of me to be like, no, that would have done it. Just stupid. All right, let's take Claiborne and Malik Washington. Why not? Why not? We'll take a rookie running back, and let's see. Maybe the Dolphins don't add anybody, and it's Malik Washington. Senior Stronk, Ted Hurst, best rookie running back. Don't add me. At me. Best is a stretch, but most fun, most intriguing. I could give that to you. Definitely had a breakout at the Senior Bowl. The sidekick likes him, from what I hear of what the sidekick likes. Yeah, I just best feels a touch thin. But, you never know. But Steven says I'm old. No, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Boomers have issues. You can do it, Steven. You can do it. Incoming Turpin. Ooh, we'll have to check. Yeah, the what are you? The 7-hole. Let's see what the 7-hole does. Chris says 3 years ago I had a team that would have finished top 10 but got knocked out by an Amari Cooper. Oh God, the Amari Cooper Armageddon year. Absolutely terrible. Wow, this guy takes Justin Fields. There we go. I love this guy. We got to do more little boards. Who aims? I was only 8 players off from winning the Millie the only week. Yeah, there you go. You know what? The same week where I finished didn't win the Millie, I also had George Holani. And if George Holani had scored a touchdown, I also win the Millie Maker. But that's like, okay. They did give him a carry at the 9, by the way. People forget. George Alani was like 1% owned in it. He was like my giga leverage. Clicking 200 teams to see it. They had a Kyron postgame stack is super sick. If you're doing in the 4th quarter, then understandable. Yeah, no, it was after. Because I just got curious. Well, because what happened was I used Kyron over DeVonta Adams. And so if I had used DeVonta Adams instead of Kyron, I would have gotten second in the SPY. So that cost me $20,000 alone. Then I was like, well, what if the touchdown went the other way? Then I buried everybody. I literally would have won every contest on DraftKings that week. It's fine. Don't do that. It's not healthy. And it's irrelevant, obviously. The whole game runs out different if Kyron scores. But it was a bad 1v1 for me. But alas. It's the way she goes. All right, so we see Joe Mixon go in this draft along with Ty Simpson. So Ty Simpson, I feel like I've heard some buzz of him getting potentially decent landing spot here. We will see. Brad asks, is it liquor or melatonin helping you sleep at night? I mean, it's really just, I have things pretty good, so you never know. If you change one thing, maybe something else goes really bad. So what can I complain? Like, sure, I would rather my life have a lot more money, but maybe that happens and there's something bad happens because of it. So I can't worry too much. I'm having a pretty good run out, so truly. But appreciate all of you guys coming in, hanging out this morning. If you can, drop a like, drop a sub. I'm going to have to hop after this draft kind of quick, but it's been a ton of fun. You guys can't even see my last pick, so I guess you can if I have this view. Who do we want? Do we want a running back? I think we'll take a running back. Oh gosh, do we really take LaQuint Allen? No, we'll take Brashard Smith. I can't do it. I can't take LaQuint Allen. That feels like the LaQuint era is over. It's similar to the Caleb Johnson era. But awesome draft doing this with all of you guys. Again, thank you so much. For the audio listeners, we got a 3-7-7-3 with Dart, Mahomes, and Kyler, Bijan, Scatabo, RJ Harvey, Jonathan Brooks, Singleton, Claiborne, Brashard Smith, wide receiver room of Neighbors, Mike Evans, Jordan Addison, Juwan Jennings, Tank Dell, Jalen Naylor, and Malik Washington. And then Brock Bowers, Kelsey, and Mark Andrews. The other pick you might not be able to see is Mike Gesicki there. Hey, Steven, means a lot. Appreciate that so much. Go Easy Cards, hear me out. PGA Dog Bowl qualify throughout the year. Dog Bowl is WM Open in Phoenix. They get a box. And, oh my gosh, that would be electric. I would chase a PGA Dog Bowl way too hard. Way too hard. Chris says, DeVonta, Burden, Igbuka, or Javonte in the 4th. I already have Lamb. Lamb, Bowers, Jacobs. If I had Lamb, Bowers, Jacobs, I'd probably be a coward and take Javonte because I'm so afraid of falling behind at running back. If you like the late running backs of that group, I like DeVonta because if A.J. Brown gets traded, you're definitely not going to be able to get that start anymore because DeVonta's going to move up a lot. So that would be my, depending on your risk tolerance. Burden's fine. I couldn't fault you for taking him, but I think if you have that kind of start that you're happy with, I would shoot the moon and try to get one I couldn't get again, or I would take the safety in the running back. And by safety, I mean like not falling behind. You know, you can argue if Javonte is not a safe pick. It's my only pre-draft entry. All right, then I would just take whatever. Like get your guy, like whoever's your guy you're highest on. If you're only going to do one, just make it a team that you're fun to root for. All right, everyone. Again, ton of fun. If you can on the way out, hit the like, hit the sub, leave a comment after. That helps a ton. But otherwise, I will see you all again tomorrow. Take care, everyone.